Right guys, welcome back to another video, and today let's talk about some basketball. So today we're actually going to be doing a different video. So I basically bought a load of cards from like a charity shop in the UK. I found it somewhere really random, but I spent about £5 on them, and there's like mainly NBA cards, I'm going to be honest with you, but there's a few American football cards, there's a few ice hockey cards. A lot of them I don't know, so I'm going to be going through them. I'll give you a commentary over the top of them while I'm showing you them. Sorry if the cards aren't very well displayed, I just got them out and just started throwing them on a table and recording it from like a top-down view. But enjoy the video and let's see what cards we got for. I think I spent about £5 Great British pounds on this. Like, there's quite a few cards to be fair, but let's go. So now I'm just going to be basically just talking over the top of this. So firstly, I'm just going to be showing you some of the cards which I got from this collection, which was just like from a charity shop where I don't really know a lot about basketball cards. I'm going to be honest with you here. A lot of these players especially, I've never heard of. I put all of the players I've heard of at the end. I sorted them into a pile because I actually know who they are. I thought they were quite interesting. So basically, I'm just going to be going through, showing you the cards, and basically a lot of these cards are from like the 90s sort of thing. So a lot of them are kind of cool, to be fair, but it was kind of interesting because there was loads of like different cards mixed in here from like different time periods, different sets and stuff like that. So I was kind of a bit confused on like what a lot of them were. Like, I didn't know what these kind of shiny ones were or anything like that. If you do know what any of these are, or if they're any good like at all, like put it in the comments, because then I'll at least know. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of them, I looked up some of the cards prices, they're not very expensive at all, so I'm basically just happy with them because I love stuff like this. I love like old basketball sort of stuff, and a lot of these cards are kind of interesting. From what I'd assume is that someone sold a lot of their better cards. Like, I'd assume some of the more like notable players they probably sold rather than like giving them to a charity shop instead. I could assume this because there's some decent cards, but obviously there's going to be a lot better ones the guy probably had, or person probably had, when they like had these cards, because they are really cool and you'd assume they'd get some really good cards. So I'd assume someone has basically probably sold them, like the good cards that they had, and gave kind of the like duplicates and stuff like that kind of just away because they weren't really worth anything or anything like that. So that's the only assumption that I can really make. But at the end of the day, a lot of these cards are very cool, and the fact that I've got like all of these cards now, like I bought them for £5, which is not a lot of money whatsoever, and now I've got all these cards which I can look at and discover players about. I was actually looking a lot of them up on Basketball Reference last night and stuff like that before making this video, and looking how good some of these players are. We've got like some bigger cards and stuff like that, and some like smaller cards, and even some stickers as well, which I found extremely interesting because I've never really seen the stickers. They're Panini ones as well, which was quite cool. I actually stuck some on my laptop, which I use for like uni work and stuff like that. So it was kind of interesting that there's one of them. And I had a lot of those cards. Like I said, with the stickers especially, the best sticker I think we got, which you might see later, was I've forgotten who it was. Well, I'll show you it later. I'll leave it as a surprise. But it was a bit interesting seeing all these cards and stuff like that. Some of the stickers, I wish they could have been a bit better. Like, if we could have got some stickers. We did actually get 2 more interesting stickers as well, which I don't really know what they are, to be honest, but there you go. And basically there's some NFL cards, some ice hockey cards, and a lot of these cards as well, where they're like from different sets and stuff like that. So it seems as though someone had a bit of a collection, which was quite cool. Like, I love stuff like this, especially from the 90s as well. But yeah, there's just a lot of cards. Like I say, I'm just showing you all of them. Basically, yeah, just going through them all. There's a checklist of like the players that you can get in a certain set, another one right there. And I just thought it was quite a cool thing to get because I love basketball. Obviously, if you watch this channel, you probably love basketball as well. And I've loved basketball since I was a little kid. Like, I started playing basketball when I was 4 years old. In the United Kingdom, obviously, there haven't been many success stories coming out of the United Kingdom. But basketball in England is actually getting a lot better, in my personal opinion, that when I've seen the development systems that they have and the players that are in the British League, they are performing at a very high level, to be fair to them. And I think right now I'm just trying to get some more cards out, because I have like this massive box of them full, and I was just trying to get them all out. Some of them aren't in the best condition possible, they're a bit dusty and a bit bent, some of them are, but they're decent, you know, they're in decent quality, especially some of them. Like, these are some Topps cards, but they're all kind of mixed in together, so it was quite hard to kind of know what the sets were and if these were any good cards. I thought they were really cool though, to have these sort of cards in a collection which I can look at and see the players who played in the 90s and stuff like that. Sadly, I don't think the Celtics were especially great in the 90s, so a lot of the Celtics players, I'm not especially like knowing of them. I don't know a lot of them, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that I got the cards from an era where the Celtics just weren't at their best, which is a shame, obviously, but you get a lot of good cards. We've got a lot of good cards, as you'll see, coming up when we get to those like really like good cards at the end of the video, where you'll see some notable players that, like, I was surprised when I saw that they were in there. We got some great players from the 90s and stuff like that coming up. Some players that everyone will know, and some players that are a bit more rogue that I used to use on like 2K, like the old ones. NBA Live, I used to use them on there. Like, NBA Live used to be such a good game. Like, NBA Live 2005 was like one of my favourite games of all time. I couldn't tell you why. It was probably a horrible game, a lot of you'll tell me, but I was like, I got it like second hand, because obviously I'm only like 18, 19 years old, so it was a bit hard to do that. But I got that game when it was old, and it had some great players on. That's where I first discovered like playing basketball games, like on a computer sort of thing, on like a PlayStation 2, I think it was. But a lot of these cards, these are like 3 cards in one, which I thought was quite cool. And then you've got all of these cards, and it's a lot of cards, I'm gonna be honest, it's a lot of cards. But if you like basketball, like, just looking through some of these, like, it's very interesting and very fun. There's Rex Chapman, so obviously if you guys would have seen Jimmy's video on that, like, Rex, you'll know about him and what he did with Michael Jordan and stuff like that, and that game where he just dominated Michael Jordan. A great video. I definitely recommend going and watching that. But these are some of the stickers. Sam Cassell is one of them. Sean Kemp is who I forgot, who's going to be coming up soon, I think. If he hasn't already, I might have missed him. Coming up, Glenn Rice, some of the players, but a lot of the stickers aren't very notable players that I've ever heard of. A lot of them I looked up were only in the league for about 5 years. There's Sean Kemp, and now we're getting into some NFL players. Now, I have no idea about NFL, I'm going to be honest with you here. I know the San Francisco 49ers because I have a hat of them, and I also know the Patriots because they're the like Boston sort of team, so they're my team that I've just like stolen. Well, not stolen, but you know what I mean, I've claimed them in some ways. So they're the team that I've gone for, and apparently that's not a good decision because they're quite bad. But if you see a lot of these players, a lot of people will never have heard of them because I hadn't either. There's certain players in this that have only been in the league for like 3 years on this thing, so it's quite interesting to see players that sadly never made it to the NBA in a proper way. They only were here for about 2 or 3 seasons, never really played. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, but you know, a lot of these ice hockey cards, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know them. I'm a Bruins fan, because Boston, that's the only reason why. So I've got no idea whether these cards are good, whether they're any famous players. So if you guys do know, let me know in the comments, and I'd really appreciate that because I've got no idea about anything to do with ice hockey. Absolutely anything. I have no clue when it comes to ice hockey and stuff like that. But now I think we're getting back onto the basketball cards. Yes, we are. Now this is the last set of cards where they're like players that I just don't know, and you guys might know them. And to be fair, you probably do, but I've got no idea who these players are. Some of them I might, but I might have just missed them. But with a lot of them, I'm not completely sure on who they are. Now, as I said, I have so many of these cards where I've just kept in a collection now, that I just like looking at them, because I love like 90s basketball and stuff like that. I watch a lot of games from like the 90s and stuff like that, and I find it quite fun because of the different styles of play and stuff like that, and how the players were different. There's Robert Parrish in that one as well. That's a good one, isn't it? I didn't even see Robert in that one, to be fair, but there you go. Yeah, we're just still going through all of these cards, still going. And yeah, these are mainly from the 90s, from what I've seen. I could be completely wrong. There's some rookie cards as well. But yeah, a lot of these guys I don't know, because I'd assume, like I said, that the guy that had it before the collection, he sold on a lot of his good cards. I'm happy he left some decent ones though. Like, he's left some good ones that we're going to go through in a bit. There's actually, like, I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler right now. There's a lot of Steve Kerrs. Like, Steve Kerr is in a lot of this. Like, he has about, I think I have like 15 cards of Steve Kerr or something absolutely ridiculous now. Same thing with Del Curry as well. I've got loads of him, especially the one where he won the Sixth Man Award. I've got many of that season, but I think now we might actually be going on to some of them. So now we've got Penny. That's a good one. I don't understand why those cards are so big, but they are. Then we have this Scottie Pippen, which now I'm getting into players I know. This Dennis Rodman sticker, the Shaquille O'Neal sticker when he played for the Magic, Clyde Drexler. Like, a lot of these players I know now. This Kevin Garnett one was such a shame because he's one of my favourite players of all time. Someone who'd like cut it or something. It's ridiculous. Gary Payton, the glove. There you go. Like, these players are so cool. Robert Horry as well. A lot of these guys I do know, and it made it fun. Patrick Ewing. There's so many cool cards in this. These are the players that I know. Like, so many cool cards, and it's just so fun to see this because I will treasure these cards. Glenn Rice, Gary Trent. Like, there's so many cool cards. Even, I think we've got a Doc Rivers now. Look at that. Doc Rivers when he was a player. Like, that is cool, you have to admit. But a lot of these cards are the playoff time ones where it's got some amazing players in the pictures. Like, so cool some of these are. Like, the playoff time ones, look at that one. That is beautiful. Some of these cards are so good. So good. And like, I'm seeing them now on camera because I'm recording this after. Some of them are so beautiful, honestly. So beautiful. And then I think we even have this Shaquille O'Neal. Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal. Allen Iverson. John Stockton, Karl Malone, Steve Kerr, and then I think we have a lot of Steve Kerr. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of him. As you can see, there's a lot of Steve Kerr, even when he was playing for the Bulls, and actually when he was playing for like Cleveland. I think we even have one when he was playing for Orlando, I think it was, which I didn't know he played for, to be fair. Then we have a lot of Del Curry as well, like I said, a lot of them. Steve Kerr for Cleveland, BJ Armstrong. Some of these cards are really cool. And then we even have a Rockets logo as well, the OG Rockets logo that is super cool. Fair play. Such cool cards, honestly. Shaq, like, so cool some of these cards are that I will treasure. Muggsy, like some of them, Ray Allen, Muggsy, like Karl Malone, Steve Kerr when he played for Orlando. That's what I mean. I didn't even realise he played for Orlando. It's crazy. But these are some of my favourite cards. Some of them are just kind of weird as well though, because I've never seen cards like that. Like Bill Laimbeer, but fair play. Beautiful cards. Anyway guys, if you have enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you, and subscribe to the channel for more.